I find it so helpful to, I'm so mad whoever switched that you were early when you first came. Yeah, I came early yesterday too. But that's good. Even if you missed one, you got most of the days in. And so what you'll notice here on day 10, as we're starting to get to the end of our healing together, the pain is a lot less. So what we've done is we've accelerated your healing process. So instead of waiting for months to finally get to this point where you're more calm and you're functioning and you're moving through life, if you've been all the days and you've applied what we've talked about, even if you've been to most of the days and you've applied what we've talked about, you're going to notice a significant increase. Even though missing a day can miss a vital part, you're still going to notice a significant growth, a significant change as a result of applying what we're learning, because what we're learning are the foundational laws of the universe when it comes to healing and growth. These are laws that are being applied by everyone that heals and that grows, even if they don't realize that they're applying these laws because they never heard of them or they've never seen them organized before. So this is absolutely essential, and you deserve all the credit in the world for putting the time in, putting the effort in, learning this, and doing your devaluation list. Who's been keeping up with that? Making sure you're doing a devaluation list every day. Let us know in the chat. Maybe you could put a number 1 in the chat if you've been doing your devaluation list every day. You'll notice that they have an immediate helpful effect when you're in that pain, when you're feeling the pain, when you're feeling that heartache, when you're feeling the rumination, when you're feeling the missing the person and the feeling like you got to be back with the person, you want to contact the person, you want to reach out to the person. Don't do that. Don't go to their social media. Don't reach out to them. Don't stalk them. Do a devaluation list first, and you'll feel differently by the time you do it. You'll feel differently. Do your devaluation list. Once you're done, it's like everything relines up, and you're like, oh, I get it. And the deeper you get into recognizing that this person, no matter how much you love them, no matter how beautiful they were on the outside, at this time does not qualify to be your forever mate, the more at peace you are. Because that just makes them like everyone else. And it allows you to move on and to move forward. And to stop worrying so much about what they're going to do. Are they going to come back? Are they looking at you? Should you look at them? Where are they going? Who are they talking to? It's like they can't even, you couldn't do something. If they don't qualify to be your forever mate, then there was no way you were going to be able to get anything going with them anyway. Like, you can have a relationship with someone who doesn't qualify, but it would be a waste of your time. So that's why we look to the end. Do they qualify to be my forever mate? Can I marry this person? In other words, right now the way they are they what I need? Are they my husband? Are they my wife? As they stand right now with no changes needed? The answer is no. No. Someone who leaves you, abandons you, is disloyal to you, actively isn't choosing you. Every day they're waking up and just not choosing you. You're right there. They know how to call you. They know how to contact you. They don't want to. So what does that mean? Well, it means that they don't have what's needed to be your forever mate. Because if it's not about do they love me, because even if they do love you, a lot of times they do. When we talk about avoidance, yeah, they love you, they miss you. I saw my avoidant write to her friend, I miss him. I just wish we could hold each other, but just not talk. And she said a variety of other I miss him type things, right? But she could have called me. She blocked me. Right? It's not that avoidance definitely don't love you. That's not always the case. Love isn't enough. Yeah, that's correct, because them having the feeling is not what qualifies them. So you have to update your understanding from your childhood level thinking. You used to think, as long as we love each other, everything will be okay. As long as we love each other, everything will be okay. And now you're brainwashed to believe that. So now you're very confused because they say they love you, but now they left you. It's not as long as we love each other. It's as long as we treat each other. It's the treatment. And that's what you meant, but you didn't know how to split the hairs. So there's a difference between how someone feels about you and how they treat you. If they say that they respect you, but they spit upon you, then it's not the respect you're really looking for. Does that make sense? So even though they might feel it in their hearts, if they don't show it, it's worthless to you. And that's what's happening right now with their love. Welcome everybody who's in here. We're healing together from avoidant discard. Since they are not actively reaching out, actively pursuing you, actively being with you, showing you loyalty, showing you in sickness and in health, and instead they're running from you, hiding from you, avoiding you, that is the disqualifying factor right there. Outside of other disqualifiers, there it is. You cannot be my husband if you are running from me. I need the opposite of that. I need a husband that runs towards me, that wants to be with me, that wants to be a partner. You can't be my husband. You can't be my wife if you run away from me, if you avoid me. I need a woman that does not avoid me actively. She has to stick around, hang out. It's got to be cool with hanging out, because that's kind of what marriage is. That's kind of what happily ever after actually means. You got to be there for it. You can't be like, it was too happy, so I couldn't handle my nervous system, so I had to run. That's not happily ever after. That's hell ever after. You understand? As one person's running away. So welcome to day 10. Congratulations on your healing. If you've been here every single day, put a 1 in the chat. If you missed just 1 or 2 days, put a 2 in the chat. If you've been here every day with us, put a 1 in the chat. That means that if you've applied what we've learned, even just 50%, if you've applied what you've learned here, you are in less pain. We have accelerated your healing by doing this together, by listening to these laws of healing, by applying these laws in your life. We have accelerated your healing process, okay? So today is day number 10. We're going to do law number 10, which is never view or treat any human as worthless, especially yourself. Never view or treat any human as worthless, including yourself. Never treat any human as worthless, including yourself. Now, have you ever treated a human as worthless? What happens with trauma is we get into extreme thinking. So we either think someone's good, and therefore we basically worship them, or we think someone's bad, and therefore we may actually literally discard them or treat them like they're worthless. You can see how much pain it causes you that an avoidant treats you as worthless, right? It hurts deeply. Not just it hurts my feelings. No, it's a trauma. To go from being idealized, being loved by them, to suddenly being treated as if you're worthless. So what we have to get out of is the child level thinking of they're either a good person or a bad person. That's how a child thinks. So that means they're either a worthy person or unworthy person. That's how a child thinks. As an adult now, as a mother, as a father, or in your mother or father mind, you must awaken the ability to see the full spectrum of individuals, to think in nuance, and to maintain the value of every human mentally. Again, you must be able to maintain the value of every human, despite the fact that they may act in a way that is worthless. They may treat you as worthless. Their behavior may be no good. But you have to be able to recognize that despite their no good behavior, their worth does not change. If you're walking along with your friend and there's a trash can, and then you hear, wah, wah, and there's a little infant baby that someone put in the trash can, what would you do? What would you do? Go ahead and write down here in the chat. What do you think you would do if you heard a live baby was abandoned in the trash can? You look around, it's just you and your friend there. You look around, you don't see any people. Like someone has clearly abandoned this baby and they've put it in the trash can. Someone says they would help it. Someone says they would pick it up. Someone says they would call the police. Someone says they take the baby to the hospital. Someone would say they stop and save it. Interesting. Well, let me ask you something. Why? That baby has clearly been abandoned and it's in a trash can. So doesn't that mean it's worthless? Why are you stopping and helping it, calling the police and doing all this stuff, picking it up and trying to assist it and trying to save it? The baby must be worthless because someone threw it in the trash can. Typically, that's where worthless stuff is, right? In the trash can. So, but you guys are saying, no, he has value. Look at the chat. It's blowing up. No. It has value. It's still a human being. Interesting. So you're telling me that baby, hold on, you're telling me that baby, although it accomplished nothing in its life, it still has value? You're telling me even though someone has mistreated it, treated it as worthless, it still has value? You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Because our value then is not determined by how someone treats us. So if you've been going around through life thinking, my mom didn't love me, my dad didn't love me, so I feel worthless, your value is not determined by how your mom and dad treat you. If you're saying, oh, the person left me, my girlfriend, my boyfriend discarded me, so I feel worthless, the narcissist tore me down, so I feel worthless, you're contradicting a law of the universe, which is that anyone who is a human, no matter how they're treated, is still worthy. That's why you reached out to help the baby in the trash can, because you recognize that that baby is still worthy. Your worth, then, is not determined by how people treat you. Again, your worth is not determined by how people treat you. Because the baby was mistreated, but you still gave it everything. You guys were calling police services, social services, you're picking it up, you're holding it, you're taking it, you're saving it, you're doing all this stuff for this child that has been discarded like a piece of trash. But you refuse to see it that way because it is not that way. It can never be that way. There is nothing anyone can do to that child, do to that baby, that will make it worthless. It will always maintain its value. And since it's just a baby, that tells you that the value didn't come from the accomplishments. So those of you here who have been thinking that your value, your worth, is based on what you do, based on your accomplishments, based on your achievements, that was wrong. The baby achieved nothing. If you thought that bad things you did were taking away your worth, you were wrong. Because even if you've done nothing in your life, even if your performance has been 0 out of 10 your entire life, even if you've sinned or committed a crime, even if you had regrets or mistakes, you're still a human. Because that's what the reasoning was as to why you helped that baby. And guess what? You were born a baby too. You were born a human baby. And the moment you came to planet Earth, you had value. You have value. And when you entered into kindergarten, you still had your value. And when you entered into first grade, second grade, third grade, you maintained the same value, the same worth that every human has. A baby is not worth more or less than a 60-year-old person, who's not worth more or less than a 30-year-old person. If you're a human and you're alive, you're worthy. You're worthy of us pulling you out of the trash can, calling the emergency services, bringing in the social workers. By the time you're done, you're going to have the police there, the fire department there, a social services agents there. The whole community is going to come together to figure out what they need to do for this baby. A baby. who accomplished nothing. That's how we feel. So stop deluding yourself into believing that you could ever be worthless. That's cognitive distortion. Don't ever say that. Oh, but I feel worthless. Your feelings don't make something true. If I feel like the Packers should be in the Super Bowl, it doesn't make it true. So you have to accept the fact, as inconvenient as it might be, as uncomfortable as it might be, your worth, your value is intrinsic, meaning you were born with it, and the actual value that you have is a 4 out of 4, a 10 out of 10, in other words, the highest value a human can have. Here's the other inconvenient truth. Everybody else has got that value as well. Like it or not. So if someone acts in a way that you don't like, even if they go as far as to be abusive, as a human, they maintain their actual intrinsic value. So you are not God. And since the value is essentially assigned by God, you cannot take the value away. You don't get to judge a person and say, your value has now been taken. You are worthless. So if you've ever called someone worthless or said someone was just a worthless piece of nothing, a waste of oxygen, and you did all that, yeah, you're off kilter. You need to bring it back in to alignment with the universe. You don't have the right. You don't have the power. You don't have the knowledge to be able to judge someone. Their worth is intrinsic. They were born with their worth. As far as we know, they'll maintain it until they die. And so don't treat any person as worthless, including yourself. Doesn't matter how much money you have, or how much money another person has. It doesn't matter how physically attractive you are. It doesn't matter how many friends you have or how many followers you have on social media. It doesn't matter if you're married or single. It doesn't matter if you've graduated college or if you've struggled in your life. It doesn't matter if you've been rejected or you've been abandoned. It doesn't matter if you have mental illness or physical illness. It doesn't matter if you've been abused. It doesn't matter if you have addiction. It doesn't matter if you're religious. It doesn't matter if you are liked or disliked in your community. It doesn't matter if you are successful. It doesn't matter if you have a criminal record. It doesn't matter if you've hurt someone in the past or you've hurt yourself, whether you are young, old, or disabled. You still have the highest value a human can have, inconvenient as it may be. Some psychologists have reasoned that we shouldn't tell people that because then they won't be motivated to be good. Because if they do something bad, they should feel worthless, some psychologists say. This is a mistake that Jordan Peterson made in his work. He is wrong. It doesn't actually cause a person to be demotivated to do good when they understand that their worth is intrinsic, unmovable. It's actually just the opposite. It's humbling. When you do something wrong and you realize that despite you making a mistake in your life, you still are worthy, you don't feel motivated to do more bad. You feel motivated to do good so that you come into alignment with who you really are. It's motivating for someone to tell you, hey, your behavior was not worthy of who you really are. Your behavior was unacceptable, but you are still acceptable. You, as a person, you are still lovable. You, as a person, you still have your worth, your value. That's actually helpful for young people who are moving toward a life of crime. Even for a full-grown adult, it's actually helpful to hear that you still have value, because then it makes you realize that you have potential to do something other than just be a criminal. What you will actually find is that many people who get into a cycle of doing bad, worthless crimes also have a negative belief about themselves. So it won't harm people to let them know that they're worthy and that they stay worthy despite what they may have done. It helps to let people know that they need to make sure their actions align with their true value, with their true worth. It helps for you to know that your value has not changed despite how someone treated you, despite the mistakes that you may have made in your life. It helps for you to know that you're always worthy. And if you're always worthy and you're always lovable, meaning you're on the same level as all other humans, then where does shame fit in? Where is the place for shame? When we're talking about toxic shame, the answer to the question is there is no place for it. There is nothing that can change your worth or your value, so it's impossible for you to be worthless. Sorry. Let it go. I need you to completely reject this concept, this notion that you could ever be worth less than other humans. You are never worth less. It doesn't matter if you walk into the room with all the biggest, highest dignitaries, the richest people in the world, you are worth the same amount as them. You are on their same level of value. They are not more than you. They are not more worthy than you. Nobody's more worthy than you. Nobody's less. We are all worthy. Let go of shame. There's no place for it. There's no point to it. There's no value to it. It is a lie. It's based on a lie. The fact that the idea that you could be unlovable, the idea that you could be worth less than someone else, it is a lie. It's just based on a lie. You got to let it go. You should not ever feel unworthy. As a human, you are worthy. You are here. You are born. Your value is intrinsic. When we think that we're saving the world by telling people that they need to feel shame, that's not what saves the world. Guilt is appropriate. So someone asks the question, well, what if a person's done a heinous crime? Well, it would be appropriate that they would feel guilty. But guilt is different than shame. Guilt can be productive, right? Guilt is your internal moral system punishing you. You're feeling the negative chemicals in your system because you know that what you've done doesn't line up with your morality. A person can't have a high morality if we're telling them that they, as a human, are worthless and should feel it and should be ashamed, because then they are down below. So how can you have high standards when you are down below? Your standards would therefore have to match where you're being told that you are. So it would create a cycle of them doing more of the things that are unworthy because we're teaching them that they are unworthy anyway, intrinsically, but they're not. That's all false. So we need to teach people to feel guilty for doing something that's wrong. And then you learn to correct your behavior, ideally, because what good is it if you do a heinous crime, but you never learn to correct it? Even if you feel bad or ashamed, if you're just going to repeat it now because you feel worthless, that's not helping. So let it go. Let go of shame. Let go of judging other individuals and trying to put them in a hierarchy. There's no hierarchy. Hierarchies are created by the narcissist. The narcissist wants to create hierarchies. You ever notice that? That's actually the way a narcissist thinks. They look at you and they look at themselves and they believe there's a scale and they believe they have to get themselves above you. And that explains everything they do. They're trying to get a higher status than you on an imaginary scale that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a worthless human being. Every human being has the highest value, including you. So what are the lies that you've been telling yourself to make you believe that you could be worthless? Let's identify them. Maybe if someone failed you, you think they're worthless, or if you failed someone, you feel like you're worthless. Maybe saying that you're weak, or saying that you made a mistake, or saying that you're trash. What are the lies? Try to identify for yourself what the lies were and label them in your mind as being lies. That you can make a mistake, but it doesn't make you worthless. It doesn't change your value. Self-sabotaging behavior, it happens because you followed your feelings. Any human can do that. It doesn't make you worthless. It doesn't change your value. Your potential is still intact. Your potential to do good, to do great things is still intact. Telling yourself that you're too much, that's just a false story that you tell yourself. You made it up. Or you were believing something that someone else told you. It's not real. You're not too much. You're just enough. You're here. You're a human. Welcome. We need variety. We don't want every human to have a muted personality. We want some people to have big, bombastic personalities. It's more entertaining and exciting. So welcome. You're worthy, just like everyone else. Make sense? So you have a better sense of your worth now? So we have to recognize that the truth of life is that all humans have value, including myself. A mistake does not erase my worth. Judgment does not equal justice. You are not the God of the universe to judge if who can be worthy and who is not worthy. So let's stop judging other people, but you also have to stop judging yourself. Yes, you have to stop judging yourself. You understand more than anyone else your true motive. But you still aren't the highest God in the universe, so you cannot judge yourself. Let's become modest about our place and recognize, okay, I'm a human, everyone's a human, I'm great, everyone's great. Try this, I'm amazing. Say it, I'm amazing. You're amazing. You're simply an amazing act of creation. You exist, you're here, you're amazing. You are amazing. You're amazing. Yeah, Josephine recognized it as a lie. The idea that other people are pretending, you're making that up. And it doesn't matter about other people anyway, because other people's opinion is not what gives you your worth or value. Your worth is intrinsic, so it doesn't matter if other people love you or not. Everyone got that? It doesn't matter if other people love you. That's not what creates value. That doesn't make you more valuable. Look at me right now. Do I lose this value if nobody loves me? Have I lost my worth as a human? No. If let's say I don't have a close relationship with my family, my parents die or something, let's say I don't have a significant other and I'm just traveling alone, does that, so nobody loves me, does that mean that I am worthless? No, I'm still worthy. If you put me in a trash can, people are going to call emergency services. The same thing. It's the same. If I was a baby or if I'm a grown-up, you're still going to care because I still am worthy. I still have my worth. I still have my value. And truth be told, I still have the same potential to help others. And so our worth is not determined by other people's opinion or if someone else in this world loves you. Keep that in mind. I want to re-emphasize that. That's so important. A lot of us keep hinging it on if someone else says. It's not about other humans. There may be times in your life where you don't have another human you can point to and say they love you. That's okay. So many people are confused about that. It's okay. There's going to be times in your life, perhaps, where you can't point to another human and say they love me. That's fine. That's not what determines your worth or value or your lovability. It's in fact normal, because in this world we live more isolated lives. Not everyone doesn't know who you are. Sometimes that's all it is. Not enough people know you. If some more people know you, then they will love you. You're lovable. But a person themselves has to be a being of love to love you. You understand? So if you met people who aren't beings of love, you can't convince yourself that means you're not lovable. That's a false story. That's child level reasoning. It's like if nobody's eating ice cream, well, I guess I'll determine that ice cream is disgusting. What? Ice cream is delicious. Just because no one around you is eating it doesn't mean it's lost its deliciousness. It's still delicious. Ice cream will always be delicious. It doesn't matter who likes it, who doesn't, who's eating it, who's not. That's you. You're ice cream. You will always be delicious. You will always be lovable. It doesn't matter if someone is enjoying you or appreciating you or not. So the very first thing we have to know, and it's obvious, but I'll state the fact. Just because the avoidant has left you, ghosted you, blocked you, or discarded you, that didn't change a thing about your worth. And it's not an indication of your lovability. Another person who is an actual being of love could come along right now and fall in love with you. Remind yourself of that. You are lovable. You are fallen lovable. It's just that the right person has to meet you in order for them to feel that. But that's not your responsibility or concern. That you don't need another human to love you. Okay? If you're spiritual, then you recognize that Source loves you. The divine loves you. So you're good. There is nobody else's love you need to be seeking outside of the divine Source love and your own love. There's no other love you need to be searching for. Hey, there's a human. Hey, do you love me? Why? What does that mean? What is it going to do for you? It doesn't do anything. The concept of connection and the love of another human, it's all our own projection anyway. We don't know. That's why narcissists and avoidance in their love bombing phase and in the wearing the mask, it's also convincing. We don't know who really loves us or who has the ability to be there for us. I remember I was talking to someone online that I thought I was having a real connection with. I don't know how long it lasted, maybe a few hours or something, till I found out they were a Nigerian scammer. But the pictures they were using, I thought I was hitting it off with a beautiful woman. The connection is a projection. I was projecting the connection, and they were lying and giving me false information. So I'm like, yeah, I'm really connecting with these people. But then when you go, yeah, so hey, it seems like we're connecting. We've been talking for like a couple hours here. Why don't we hop on a video call? Oh, my phone's broken. Really? It's the year 2020 something. Like, you don't have the ability to video call. You know what I mean? It starts getting real weird and suspicious. And then, question after question has started to come out when you start to push, like, okay, well, let's get on an audio call. That's fine. And then, I can't right now. It can happen to any of us. You can be getting scammed, and even if the person is not a Nigerian scammer, not to pick on Nigerians, right? But even if the person is not a Nigerian scammer or any type of scammer, and they're standing before you, a beautiful man or a beautiful woman, they can still be a scam. And that's what the narcissists end up being. They were a scam because they're hiding the fact that they're actually cruel in their intentions. They actually have no ability to actually love you. And the avoidant is also a scam artist because they're hiding the fact that they can't regulate their emotions, that they don't have life circumstances, at least emotionally, to be able to show up for you. They don't have relationship skills. They're just mirroring you. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they truly want. And when they get scared, they run. They're hiding all that from you. They didn't tell you. They didn't say, hey, yeah, I'm trauma bonded to my abusive mother, just so you know. So when she comes around, I'm going to suddenly have no time or energy for you. They never told you that. It was a scam. Even though you got the person right there. That was a scam. So recognize that despite the fact that you feel love for someone or you feel like someone loves you, that is meaningless. That's not where your meaning, your worth, your value comes from. Doesn't matter if you have another human loving you. Everyone got that? That's one of the most important lessons I want you to learn today. Your value doesn't come from another human loving you. Your value is intrinsic. You were born with it. It doesn't change whether there's someone who happens to be loving you or not. Watch. Let's pretend I have a girlfriend right now. Oh, she says to me right now before my live stream, she says, baby, I love you. I love you so much. And I go, thank you, baby. And that feels so good. And it does. It feels good to know that this other human loves me. And let's say, while I'm doing my live stream, she decides, I don't love this guy anymore. I don't like him. I don't like his corny jokes. I've fallen out of love with him. She packs her bags and she walks out. And she leaves a note. And the note says, I don't love you anymore. I read the note. Value still 4 out of 4. I'm still a 10 out of 10 on the value scale. You understand? Has my value changed? No. Will I be sad to have lost something that I enjoyed? Sure. Like, yeah, That's sad. I was enjoying that. But it's gone. My value is still a 10 out of 10. Still a 4 out of 4. Hers is too. She took her value with her. I still got mine. Value hasn't changed. So I can mourn the loss of the person, but don't mourn the loss of your value, your worth. That's not where your value comes from. Does that make sense? Someone said something here. Narcissistic equals scammer, avoidant equals scammer. I'm ready for my next charlatan. There you go. There's a healed mindset. I'm ready to be scammed again. That's your healed mindset. Did you know that? That's a healed mindset? Because you realize that it's just out there. It just exists. And it's going to happen. So you just are careful not to invest too much up front and to make sure you vet. So like the situation with like I told you, the Nigerian scammer, I'm talking to a dude in Nigeria. So how do I make sure that this doesn't become a very huge trauma in my life? Well, number one, I need to make sure that I'm not investing too much in this first couple hours long conversation that we're texting back and forth, right? I can't get my heart broken if I'm investing too much. I have to tell myself, I can't love a woman that I've never met, right there. This is a part of vetting and having standards. I have to meet the woman before I can love her. I have to know a woman's flaws before I can love her. Do I have that in the first 2 hours of texting? No. We're just talking about family and like getting to know one another. I thought. Right? And so this is not real. This is not something I should invest everything into. And that's what keeps me safe. So although I may have lost a little bit of time, but I was still probably doing other things like cooking or whatever while I was texting back and forth. And I feel a sense of disappointment when I realize, what are you talking? You can't do a video call? Like, what is this? This isn't real. Why are you, what is the real deal here? And then you realize, oh, it's a scammer. They're trying to get money, blah, blah. Okay. Then you realize, but am I broken? Will I never love again? Can I not trust all women now because they might be men in Nigeria? No, it's fine. I can still trust certain people to a certain degree and meet people, and I'm open to get scammed again. You have to still go out and meet people and find out what they are. You find out gradually. But you keep yourself safe by being intermittent, like gradual growth to the love that you invest, to the feelings and emotions that you invest. So I was over that literally in hours because I had invested too much up front. You understand? Probably minutes I was over that. So it was fine. And that's how you keep yourself safe. Okay? But recognize your worth did not change when the person left. Your value did not change when the person mistreated you. When they start to discard you, a narcissist's goal is to make you feel worthless so that they have a higher status on this invisible ladder of hierarchy that they believe in their head. So that's why they devalue you. A narcissist's goal is to get a higher status than you. They want to convince you that they are higher status than you, and they want to convince others in your community that they are higher status than you. This is an invisible ladder that they created in their head, but they're going for it. They're trying to win at this game that you never agreed to play, okay? An avoidant will devalue you as well. Not all of them do it, but and not all the time at least. But when they need to soothe their conscience for having left you, ditched you, discarded you, they tell themselves there was something wrong with them. There was something bad about them. We weren't compatible. She wasn't the right one. And they give themselves a false story. And that helps them to feel better. And so then they tell others about their false story so that others will bolster their confidence in the bad decision they made. They need other people to support them because they look for their validation on the outside of themselves. So that's why it looks like an avoidance doing almost the same thing as a narcissist. An avoidant is doing a smear campaign. The avoidant is devaluing you. They're telling you mean, negative things about yourself. All of a sudden, you're terrible, and you just want to control them, and you're ridiculous, and they're saying all this mean stuff, and they're not a narcissist. It's just that they're mentally ill, and they don't know how to cope with reality, so they have to create a false reality where they can feel better. So that's why an avoidant does that. Now, did any of that change your worth? No. Did any of that change your value? No. So don't treat yourself as worthless. Don't treat anyone as worthless. Treat everyone as worthy equally, including yourself. That is law number 10 of the 10 laws, to treat everyone as worthy. Treat no one as worthless, including yourself. Treat no one as worthless, including yourself. Now I can take your questions. Some of you were already typing questions. If you want to retype that or copy it, I'm going to scroll up to grab some. Sometimes we just have to laugh at ourselves. We're humans, always learning. Absolutely. My whole mindset shifted after watching one of your videos. I realized it's okay to set boundaries. It's not only okay, it is necessary. Just like a country has borders, we have to have boundaries to protect ourselves and our resources. Just like a country has borders, and they have like a border patrol of some sort, some type of army that protects their borders. We all have to protect ourselves to protect our resources so that people can't just walk in and pillage. And so since there's people who want our resources, our beauty, our body, our talents, our money, our time, our kids, different things, we have to have boundaries and say, no, I don't like that, don't do that, no, you can't come there. You have to be able to assert those boundaries to protect yourself. It's not just okay, it's necessary. We need them. I know it's unpleasant. We hate to let people down and disappoint them, but we got to do it. It's like that all the time, even when you're married or in a relationship. D-Mac, I don't know what you were referring to when you said, is it like that all the time? Let me know what you mean. Rephrase it and tell me, is it like what all the time? Even in a marriage. My avoidant was extremely thoughtful and showered me with the gifts. He was really nice to me. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it sounds like he was a person with potential to love. Or in the beginning, in the love bombing phase, he knew how to make you feel all the love. But did he stay consistent? Did he stay congruent? If not, it's still disqualification. You need a man that can do that consistently every day, day in, day out. Okay? Extremely thoughtful. Men should be able to do that every day. Shower you with gifts. Consistency. Every week. Whatever. If he does, however he does it, he should be able to keep up that same rate. Men don't have menopause. Men don't have monthly cycles. Okay? So we can be consistent. So expect that, ladies, of your men. Expect that they are consistent. Consistent. You understand? we don't have any monthly cycles, so we can just get up and just keep going. So expect consistency from your man. How do I deal with trying to conceive and not being able to? It's a roller coaster of emotions. If you're married and you're trying to conceive and you're not able to, you need to focus on appreciating in gratitude what you do have instead of focusing on what you do not have. This is going to take patience, and staying in a roller coaster of emotions is not helping you. It's not helping your hormones. It's not helping you to conceive. So cut all of that out. Focus on love, appreciation, gratitude for what you do have, and patience. And also mentally visualize what you want and continue to move towards it. Create the visualization and believe that you already have it with faith. Is it like that all the time, even when you're married or in a relationship? D-Mac, I don't know what you're referring to. Is what like what? I have a hard time with that with family that has talked so bad about me. Don't focus on the smear campaign. If you do, it will consume you. And that's what it's designed to do, to make you feel like you've lost everyone. But guess what? You don't need anyone. You don't need any one particular person. So when someone smears you, cut off the smearer, the slanderer, and then cut off everyone who has believed in, been affected by, or sided with the slanderer. Cut them all off, even if that means your whole community, even if that means 100 or 1,000 people. And even if that takes you down to 0 people who are with you, who are supporting you, you cut all of them off. And then you focus on your purpose, and your tribe will be attracted to you. There are lots of safe spaces where no one has heard the smear campaign. You understand? This is one of them. I'm a human. I can see you. I can't pronounce your name. The Zena channel. So maybe your name's Zena. Or the Zena, I don't know. But I have never heard a smear campaign about you. So I don't have any negative thoughts about you. Do you understand? And that's the same with everybody else here. We never heard about the smear campaign. You see, focus on your tribe, focus on your purpose. Don't worry about them. Let them go. Cut them off. It's a loss. Like on your taxes where you cut the loss, this is like they're a loss. Or you cut your expenses, it's a loss. Just write it off. Okay, I lost those people. Let it go. If any of them want to come back to you, let them come to you. And don't worry about what the lies were that were being told. None of us can avoid lies being told about us. Everyone is being lied about. If anyone knows who you are, then there's people lying about you. The more people know you, the more people are lying about you. Fact of the universe. Have you ever seen an avoidant in a relationship with a narcissist? What does that look like? All the time. One of the most common relationship combinations. Yeah. Typically, they last longer because that's what the avoidant feels more comfortable with. The lack of love that the narcissist gives makes the avoidant feel more stable because they're not receiving consistent love and support. So the avoidant is like, oh, I can deal with this abuse. That's great. This is just like what I grew up with. So they stay with narcissists longer than they stay with healthy people, sadly. And the narcissist's goal is to break down the avoidant's self-worth and identity, which isn't hard because the avoidant already has low self-worth and identity, and then to brainwash the avoidant to be their play toy, essentially. But like the way a lion would play with its food before eating it, if it could just work, then it would be perfect, but narcissists don't have a stopping point, so they essentially are going to end up consuming you. So at first, they just want the supply, they want the supply, they want the supply, but then it ends up, it's a voracious appetite, so then it ends up where the greatest supply would be to destroy you completely. And since it's not really convenient in this system to literally unalive someone, then what the narcissist will settle for is killing you while you're alive. Like, it's like a murder of the soul. That's what they would love to see. You die on the inside. And I can go on, but it's very dark. So that's what the narcissist's goal will be with the avoidant. And the avoidant has a protection mechanism that they learned in childhood, which is the complete avoidance or shut off. So at some point, if they can successfully realize that they have to protect themselves, they will completely shut down or leave and avoid the narcissist, and that will be their survival. And they'll stay stuck in that loop because now they're like, that saved me. My leaving and shutting down on the narcissist saved me. So they're just kind of going to be stuck in that. It's a very sad situation. Can you explain investing too much? Give examples, maybe. So when you meet a person of your preferred gender, if you will, they have traits that are attracting you to them. Okay, there's a difference between attraction and limerence, where you fall in love. So it's natural that you feel attraction for a person when you first start talking to them. That's why you talk to them, because they are on some level attractive. But you have to control the limerence, and the limerence is where you start hyper-focusing on their good qualities and fantasizing about them. So what's important to me while I'm just texting back and forth is that I don't start, oh my God, maybe she will be my everything, maybe she will be my wife. That's not investing too much. sacrificing other things to be with them, to talk to them, giving up other relationships, giving up other hobbies and jobs and things like that. That's investing too much up front. You just met the person. You don't know them. If you're in the first couple of months, you just met them. You do not know the person. You don't know a person until you can literally tell me all of their flaws and that you've experienced the worst of the flaws in real time. Then you can say you know the person. But if you're just meeting them, you're getting to know them, fantasizing and thinking and focusing in on their good qualities is too much. So one of the ways you curtail that is reminding yourself that they have flaws and imagining what those flaws could be, or focusing on the flaws that you're finding. So while you're getting to know a person, don't forget to do that. Find the flaws. That's what you're actually looking for. And recognize those flaws in real time, just the same way you're recognizing what's good or attractive about them. Recognize the flaws in real time. Guys, as I'm getting buried in comments here, I'm going through one by one. So don't repeat any comments or questions. Just ask your question and wait for me to get to it, please. Are avoidants more likely to be unfaithful? No. There's nothing that suggests that. Avoidants are just dysregulated trauma survivors, and some of them will be unfaithful and some will not. But it's all unfaith when you disloyally break up with someone for no good reason. It's kind of its own type of unfaithfulness. But as far as cheating on you, no. They're more likely to leave you than to cheat on you. Pause, breathe, and blink before saying mean things. Working on it. I had a man tell me he wasn't looking for a relationship, yet he wanted personal info and getting closer. Yeah, anytime you have a man say something ridiculous like, I'm not looking for a relationship, I don't know what I'm looking for right now, I'm just trying to keep it casual, we can be friends with benefits, or I don't believe in marriage, it's an automatic no. All of those things are just automatic. You don't even waste your time as a woman with that. Do you always have to play that game in relationships and married, like not getting too attached? It's anytime you meet someone up front, you should not get too attached. If you're in the first couple months of knowing them, you should not get too attached. Always, yeah. I don't know what you mean by married. Like if you're married, then you've already vetted through the person ideally. So then you would allow yourself to feel love and attachment to them. Why do they become friendly after 3 months, and when questions are being asked, they go distance? Perhaps you're referring to love bombing, where they're friendly for the first 3 months, and then when you question them, they can't keep up the facade. They can't keep up the faking. So you're making, with an avoidant, you're making reality clash with the fantasy they're trying to weave. How do you heal from loving someone who doesn't love and mistreat you? They don't love you and they do mistreat you. First thing you need to do is your devaluation list. You need to do a devaluation list, and you need to keep doing that every time you feel a love for them. You weren't focusing on their negative qualities. Now's the time to do that. Help with insecurity. Your insecurity is your focus on your flaws and focusing on what you lack. When you focus on what you have, you focus on what you can do, you will not feel insecure. When you stop negative thinking, you will not feel insecure. So an insecure person goes into someone else's brain and says, they probably think I'm stupid or dumb or don't like me. You have to stop doing that. Go into their brain and give them a positive or neutral story. They probably like me. Now I don't feel insecure. They probably don't care about or know who I am, so they're not even thinking about me. Now I don't feel insecure. Positive, neutral stories, not negative, detrimental stories. I've been in my marriage for 12 years. I found out a week ago that he has been cheating, and now I'm discarded. Yeah, when you find out news like that, it can be very jarring. But you have to recognize the moment that you realize a person is not loving you by doing the things that are beneficial for you, it is no longer a loving relationship. It is now a trauma bond, and you must immediately devalue them. Harsh as it sounds, it's for your health. It is now a trauma bond. They are not safe. They are a toxic person that fast. So in this case, now you realize he's a toxic person. Don't worry about trying to get the details of what you didn't know. You don't need all that. You already have enough information to know he's an unsafe person. You need to do a devaluation list and focus on doing your devaluation list so that you can protect your mental health and rewire your brain to immediately detach from that person. How do we stop projecting our goodness and love onto someone? Meaning how to stop creating a fantasy. Yeah, up front in the very beginning, that's when you need to control it. That's when you have the control over it. So you do not fantasize about the person. When you feel yourself doing it, you stop yourself and you remind yourself, no, they have flaws and I really don't know who they are and I'm not going to go down this road. I'm not going to fantasize about them. Any flaws that you do notice, focus on those flaws. Any flaws that you don't know, if you don't know their flaws, imagine what it could be and do investigations to find out. That's what the vetting process is about. I need to know. Do you have any other baby mamas out there? Do you have any other babies out there? Let me just imagine what some of your flaws could be. And let me just ask you a lot of questions, because in the first few months, that's the proper time for me to do this, instead of waiting until all of this comes to light 6 months from now. And then all of a sudden, now I got to go through your phone up front. Try to find out the flaws right away. Mine doesn't give me gifts. Najma, it's not your job to focus on the flaws of your person if you're trying to get back with your person. If you're trying to be with your person, your husband, then you need to focus on the things you have with your husband so that you're building love instead of devaluing your husband. What causes the avoidant personality? Childhood trauma. I use the analogy of water. If, as a kid growing up, if every time I had water, someone came along and knocked the water down, spit in it, or hit me, so I got hurt every time I had water, how would I feel about water? I'd always feel insecure, shaky, nervous every time I started to get water later. That's how they feel about love, because that's basically what happened to them when they thought that they had love as a child. So they run away when they start to feel that insecurity, that intimacy. Men I've met have menopause and synced cycles. They block women and giggle about it. Thank you. It's hard when you're insecure. Help with insecurity. Don't copy paste, please. Narc turned daughter against me and my family. She's no contact 8 years. She believed lies. Narcissists will do that. Whenever someone is turned against you, you need to immediately cut them off. You need to emotionally detach from the person. Manipulated, how to handle. Anytime someone tries to gaslight you or manipulate you, you immediately cut them out of your life, 100%. There's no room for a gaslighter or a manipulator. It's a deal breaker. What if it's your own child? If the child is an adult child, you cut them out of your life. If they're a minor child, then you correct them and you be the authority. Do fearful avoidance smear campaigns right just after they discard, or just the narcissist? Before and after they discard you. Just like a narcissist, they'll start early and then after they let you go. But they don't have cruel intentions. Their intentions are to protect themselves. Do you believe that until you heal, you will continue to attract the same behaviors in others? No. That's an oversimplification of healing and attraction. Healing is involves learning the proper skills for a relationship. And yeah, you'll keep making a lot of the same mistakes if you don't heal. But it's not about attracting the same traits or anything like that. Ex-narcissist was obsessed with shows with lion kills. Interesting. Like my husband, divorced, but still want to live with me. He's treating like trash. Yeah, so if your husband is divorced from you or wants to divorce, he's already a toxic person for you. So you immediately need to cut him out. You need to emotionally detach from him. Had a guy ghost me after I set my boundaries. Now he is back wanting me back. Should I try? No, you should set your boundaries and enforce your boundaries stronger than ever. And if he accepts your boundaries, then good. But if he can't accept your boundaries, then you have the answer to your question. Your relationship will never work with someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. Guy ghosts me after I set boundaries. Now he is back. Should I give him another chance? Please don't copy paste your question. I'm going through one by one, guys. People get on my nerves with the BS. Just be honest. Yeah. Relatable. It would be nice if people would be honest. But now we need the skills to navigate the universe the way it is. And we live in a universe where a large percentage of people are not being honest. So how will you navigate? Use vetting and don't invest too much up front. Wait, so I'm the avoidant? I try to leave before I'm left. Yes, you are an avoidant. That's correct. My husband divorced me and telling me he don't believe in marriage. I think I read that one already. J. Nicole, after the discard, having time letting go, you make it seem so easy. How? After they discard you, you need to do your devaluation list. That action technically is easy. It's getting a pen and paper and writing it down. Then you start to feel better. Then you keep doing that to rewire your brain. This is the process of emotionally detaching from the person. That's how. Avoidant was cheating, so he had card up his sleeve. If his girlfriend was rude to him, he felt better. I don't know what you're saying. Like, let me know if you have a question or something. Why nowadays we talk so much about narcissism? It's a pandemic situation. Because we are awakening due to the internet. We didn't know about these things before the internet because we couldn't share knowledge as quickly. Now we are being able to share knowledge, so we've agreed upon a collective term, like, oh, narcissism, that's what it's called. And now we're using that term to refer to people that lack empathy and accountability. How do I break attracting the narcissist if it's all that I know? The problem is not that you're attracting narcissists. The problem is that you attach to them once they come. You break that by not attaching to anyone until you know all of their flaws. You break that by not attaching to anyone until you know all of their flaws, until you have commitment. So make sure you are married to a person before you become fully attached and in love with the person. Also, you need to vet up front. So you need actual skills, setting boundaries, assertiveness, vetting, and staying detached. That's how you avoid getting trapped by another narcissist. The problem is not that you're attracting them. The problem is that you're attaching to them. I was coldly discarded for my mental well-being. Is it wise to delete photos of us and her? At least put them away, like put them in a separate file somewhere where you don't see them on a hard drive. Get them off of your phone. Put them away. You don't want to be looking or accidentally seeing them where it's going to trigger you in the wrong direction while you're trying to heal, and let them become less and less in your mind and smaller in your mind. Work on doing your devaluation list. That's most important. Truth be told, in my past relationships, I don't even delete the old photos together. I just leave them right there. I just but they can be triggering for sure. If I go back in my phone and then I see it at a wrong time, it can like trigger me. But because the devaluation list is so strong and detachment and the tools that I'm using, like the JOT method, are so effective, and I'm probably just lazy to do the electronic work of going through. I'm not a deleter, so I don't like to go and delete a bunch of stuff. I feel so attached to a guy who doesn't want marriage but is asking for a long-term companionship. My standard for you, Shars, is that he needs to do a marriage with you. He needs to be on board with marriage. So I would advise setting that as the standard and saying, you are going to want to do this, otherwise we're not going to be together. And letting him go. And I am saving you because you're already attached and attached to a guy who doesn't want to give you the highest, fullest, most riskiest commitment. That's not safe for you. If he's not willing to take on that risk for you, that's not a safe situation. I would never advise you to go into that. So fix your glasses a little bit to where you're recognizing his flaws, and you need to learn to detach a little bit from this person. He's showing signs right now of not being your forever person. You can go ahead and not believe me and not accept wisdom and go with the world's advice like, you don't need marriage, you can just be together. And you can go get hurt if you want to. Or you can take my advice and save yourself a lot of pain by setting a much more higher standard. Roman, thank you so much. I have CPTSD and find it so hard to relax. I'm so tense. The W. I'm so tense the whole time. I can't even breathe without tension. If I try with thoughts, same or... I think you finally gave up on finishing that statement there. I don't see anything else that you wrote. So you're telling me that you are having trouble regulating your emotions because you're tense. I try with thoughts, same or MO. I would recommend you identify first if you have anxiety or depression, which sounds more like an anxiety. And then go to YouTube, type in my name and then Jot Method. You can do that right now and go learn Jot Method. There's also a shortened version that says how to heal your anxiety in 15 minutes. Go watch that video on my YouTube, apply what it says there, and you'll start to feel better right away. Also, get a copy of my book, The 12 Laws of Healing Journal, that's designed for people with CPTSD, and go through that book so you can heal your CPTSD. It's a completely healable psychiatric disorder. Do I message a fiance that blocks me after silent treatment? Asking me if you should message a person that blocked you? No. The person is setting up a boundary, even if they're doing it imperfectly. Just respect the boundary and be like, okay, and work on engaging detachment right now. You can start with your devaluation list. Married 5 years, my husband plays PS nightly, PlayStation, I assume. I heard him say, love you. He denies, I'm hurt. Oh, to someone on his game? Don't be hurt. Why are you hurt? You're hurt that he loves a person he can't see on a video game? You're hurt that he loves one of his bros? You don't know who he's talking to on the game. Don't be hurt. That's jumping to conclusions. Just set your boundaries, set your standards. Obviously, there's something you need that you're not getting. Express what you need to your husband and expect that you receive it. Otherwise, if he's unable to deliver your needs in the relationship, then you have a more clear problem on your hands. Instead of zeroing in on this one, I heard him say, I love you, and you don't know what he said, who he said it to. Let that go. Focus on overall, what is the actual things I'm not getting that I want or need in this relationship? Focus on that. Be assertive, set your boundaries. You've already asked him about it. He denies it. Let it go. Let it go. Don't hold on to it, because what are we going to do? That's going to be a waste of your time. You can't prove anything. So if he denies it, let it go. Take a step back to see the bigger picture, because there's probably something bigger missing in the marriage that's making you zero in on this. I meant to say during their bond with the new person, they text the ex after 3 months and later go distant. The way this is written, I don't really know what you're asking. A bond with a new person, I don't know who that is. If you're talking about a bond with you, if you're talking about a guy having a bond with you, and then they text their ex after 3 months and then they go distant, like, that would mean that he is disqualified from being your forever mate, plain and simple. There should be no question here. It's just, oh, okay, I guess this guy is not going to be my forever mate because he's not meeting the standards that I'm looking for in that person. How do you recommend co-parenting with a divergent parent? What do you mean divergent? like neurodivergent because they have ADHD? Or divergent meaning they are an avoidant? I don't know what you mean by a divergent parent. My kid's dad is very insecure. That's because he focuses on negative stories that he tells himself. Is it true that the things/wounds I don't heal, my kids will have to deal with it? We all have to deal with your unhealed wounds. Everybody who interacts with you. And the closer they interact with you, we all have to sit and pay the price because you're not healing your stuff. Get healed. Enroll in my healing school. Get the book, 12 Laws of Healing Journal. Come to these live sessions and meetings. Utilize the materials that I'm putting forth, whether they're live, free or paid materials. Utilize them to heal. As long as you don't deal with your stuff, of course your kids will have to deal with it. We all do. Of course. My boyfriend is suddenly busy and not responding to my calls or texts. Just mirror the energy. If he's busy, then you're busy too. You have other things to focus on. And even if you have to do a devaluation list to pull apart that attachment a little bit, do so. How do you heal as an avoidant? All of the materials I have are designed for healing avoidance because avoidants have CPTSD. So get the 12 Laws of Healing journal, enroll in my healing school. There's a course on there called Healing Attachment Clinic. And be here for the 12 Days of Healing. Be on my TikTok because I'm posting a lot of avoidant content right now, including a 12-part series that's there called How to Fix Your Avoidant. Those would be great places to start. But if you want one piece of advice right now, do nothing in fear. Do everything in love. No longer allow your actions to be guided by fear. So in those with an avoidant personality experience love associated with pain as children, yes. He was also avoiding sensitive topics. Yeah, if he avoids sensitive topics, that may be a disqualification. Look at your standards. Is that what you want to be married to? Remember that having a boyfriend is about finding your one instead of trying to keep him and make him the one. Is there degrees to being an avoidant? Yes. Can there be somewhat just avoidant tendencies? Sure, yeah. He discarded me and moved on with someone else, but he's fighting with the kids. Why? There's no need for us to pick apart why someone's doing something. If he discarded you, he doesn't qualify, so therefore he's none of your business anymore. He's done. Discard him. He is very narcissistic and manipulative and degrading. Those would be some disqualifiers. What do you think? Probably you should stop thinking about someone like that. You understand? Definitely you should stop thinking about someone like that. What do you do if they keep contact every 2 days? Analyze your standards. Ask yourself, does this meet my standards? If it doesn't, set a boundary. Allow him to understand your expectation. If he can't meet it, snip, snip, he's done. I'm new here. Can you explain the devaluation list? Yes. Write down on a piece of paper 8 things about a person that disqualify them from being your husband or wife. Things they're doing right now or have done. And focus on listing their flaws. You need 8 items on a piece of paper that meet those qualifications. Avoidant has been giving breadcrumbs and acts like nothing happened. If I go silent, am I avoidant too? No, because you're being manipulated. So anytime someone manipulates, abuses you, you have the right to ghost them. You can always ghost an abuser, guys. Always ghost an abuser. Do you think there are people who are better than others due to their character development? No. Every person is the same in value. You can be better at something. What are the steps of vetting a man? As soon as you meet someone, wherever you meet them, whether they're coming up to you in a club or you meet them on a dating app, you start asking questions. Usually it's electronically these days. And your questions are, direct according to the standards of what you're actually looking for. These are potential deal breakers. So within 5 questions, you can eliminate 85 to 90% of people. So start asking those things. I just got out of a 5-year relationship today. She cheated and left me. I want her still. Advice. She cheated and left you. Your wanting her is now damaging to you. It's not healthy anymore. If she were loyal to you and loved you and were still with you, then it would make sense for you to still want her and cultivate that desire. But since she's not healthy for you, she's now a trauma bond. So cultivating more desire for her is not helpful. So what you need to do right now is lessen your desire, and you do that by doing your devaluation list. I've got to do better with vetting, and boundaries are minimal. Yep, you need to be more assertive. You need to vet. You need to have boundaries. Don't invest up front in a relationship emotionally. Just keep it cool. Understand that 90% of people that you meet, even though you have high hopes, are not the one. 90% of people you meet are not the one. My friend's partner is cheating. Will he ever change? Who knows if someone else will ever change? Focus on standards. So your friend needs to learn to set standards for themselves and to assert their boundaries. That's all. What if I'm actually mourning the person, not just the relationship? I really liked him as a person. A lot of times you're mourning your investment in the relationship, your time, your energy, your money. Those things were lost, and that's what you're really mourning. But sometimes we can really mourn the good qualities of a person, and that's true. You're a loving person, so that's why you're doing that. But now, since they're gone, doing that is actually toxic for you. So instead of doing that, you need to focus on devaluing the person by focusing on their flaws, things you don't like about them, and reasons they don't qualify. Give me 8 of them on a piece of paper. Now you're healing. What is an avoidant? New term for me. An avoidant is a person who may seem like the perfect mate when you first meet them, but then due to their trauma and emotional dysregulation, they suddenly sabotage the relationship and leave without really having a good basis or reason for doing so. How can you know all of the person's flaws if people be lying and pretending? It takes a little bit of time to get to know people's flaws, right? So that's why we don't want to invest right away up front. We understand that people lie and pretend. That's the whole point of vetting rather than dating. When people date, they just start making themselves vulnerable and spending time and investing energy and losing themselves emotionally. And you don't know who a person is. And some people are liars and pretenders, so you don't know. So instead, you want to vet and give the proper amount of time before you're fully invested in the person. In order to catch the liars, as soon as there's an incongruence, that's an automatic deal breaker. You back off and you assert your boundary. Hey, you used to do this, or you said this, and now you're doing this or saying this. That's incongruence. I demand not only an explanation, but I demand it be fixed. Ultimately, a narcissist won't be able to hold up to those high standards, neither will an avoidant, and they'll run away. And then you'll be like, wow, I'm so safe. Don't want to lose relationship with young grandchild, but parents use them as manipulation leverage. Whenever somebody uses something as manipulation leverage, you don't care about it. Your own child, your grandchildren, you will pretend as if you do not care about that thing. Then the manipulators will give it to you because they want to hurt you. You understand? So if your ex-wife is trying to take the kids away from you because they think that will hurt you, you have to act like you don't want the kids. You got to be like, oh, do you have the kids? Good. Because I got things in my life I'm trying to do, places I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be out partying. And then guess what your ex-wife will do? You need to take these kids this weekend. Never allow anyone to manipulate you. You automatically cut off your feeling and need for whatever it is they're holding against you. Immediately. You pretend as if you don't care about it. The comment was that the avoidants cheat to protect themselves, to detach beforehand. Yeah, some avoidants may do that, but that's not that common for avoidants to cheat to protect themselves. That's not that common, no. Some may, but that's not common. I just got out of a 5-year relationship today. She cheated and left me. I want her still advice. I think I already gave you advice, bro. Please don't copy paste your questions. I'm going through one by one, guys, and I'm already buried, right? So if you copy paste, you're just wasting more time. Do avoidance delete pictures of us and them? Some do, some don't. A lot of them do, probably. OMG policemen from adolescence. Don't know what that means. Is it true that narcissist prefrontal cortex is severely underdeveloped? Doesn't matter. They're wicked people and you need to get rid of them. Can you have a healthy relationship with a fearful avoidant? No, you cannot. Ultimately, they will leave you because of how healthy you are. They need you to be unhealthy and traumatized for them to stick around, and they'll still leave you and abandon you. They're abandoners. That's just what they do. They have to heal. They have to heal. What if he keeps texting me but always cancels? Ask yourself, does that meet my standards of a friend or a companion that I'm looking for? If not, let them go. I have an ugly picture of them with my detachment list to help take them off the pedestal. Yeah, that can be helpful. Don't always use the same picture because it can desensitize you to it, but yeah, that does help. If you have an unflattering photograph where you look at them and like, I don't like the way they look in this, it's helpful. It's the same thing as adding to your list. I don't like how one of their toes is longer than the other or whatever. It's a devaluation list. It's to help your brain to see them as they really are, a human with flaws, someone that isn't your everything. They're not the angel, the God that you put on a pedestal and you worship and you need to have in your life. It's good to do that. It's a good tactic to use, along with your devaluation list, absolutely. Especially helpful for those of us who are physically attracted to our mate. So that was a guy that said that, and a lot of times for us men, that physical attraction is a huge part of why we're putting so much value into that partner. I've had many narcissists in the past. Now, detached, avoidant ex, I'm so tired, I don't want to date. Yeah, I mean, that's the traumatized, unhealed solution. Is like, I just won't date humans anymore. But ultimately, learning the skills is way more valuable because someone might come along, and if you're not ready, if they're the right one, you'll sabotage it. If it's the wrong one, you'll just get abused again. So saying I don't want to date isn't helpful. How do I deal with a diagnosed narcissist's 9-year-old brother? A narcissist, a 9-year-old can't be a diagnosed narcissist. He's just a child. Why would he fight with the kids, while he's happy with someone else? He went for kids' custody. Let me go back to that comment. Let me see if I read that wrong. Deal with a diagnosed narcissist, 9-year-old brother. Yeah. No, he's not a diagnosed narcissist, bro. Why would he fight with the kids while he's happy with someone else? He went for kids' custody. Don't focus on why he's doing what he's doing. Focus on what you need to do. You're at war right now. Someone's fighting for custody of your children. Go to war. Go fight back. It's that simple. You're at war. You don't have time to, I wonder why. Who cares? Someone's trying to take your children. Go to war. Go fight. My ex, who wanted to pay 3 months' rent, is now asking me to sign an NDA before he pays. He also promised to pay for a new car. I think I need a lawyer. Thoughts? Yeah, anytime there's a contract involved, it's always a good idea to get a lawyer. But at very least, read the contract carefully and run it through AI, a chatbot, to see if they notice anything that you should pay attention to. If you don't have the money for a lawyer, you can use a couple chatbots to, help them balance and fact check each other. But yeah, you need to pay attention when there's contracts. It's not an automatic no. It might be worth it. You're going to give me X amount of rent. You're going to give me this car. You probably should have a contract in place. You should also protect yourself with a contract, which would be like a no strings attached contract. So talk to a lawyer or AI chatbot about that. No strings attached. Make sure that you owe them nothing forever after they give you this gift, that it's a free and clear gift. What is the healing message today? I forgot already. I'm focused on reading these comments. Always treat everyone as, never treat anyone as worthless, including yourself. Will my husband regret leaving after discarding me after 30 years? Eventually, yes, he will regret it, if you were a good partner. My partner threw things my direction when he's mad. I'm also not perfect and make him mad sometimes. Yeah, so you have to ask yourself, does this meet my standards? Do I want to live with a human that's 3 times my physical strength that throws things when they get angry? Just ask yourself if that meets your standards. I would say probably you're in danger and you should get away. I'm new to setting boundaries thing. How do I start? You start by recognizing your value, your valuable things, your resources, things that people want from you, and then recognizing that you have a duty to protect those things. You start by enrolling in my boundaries school. You have to take a whole course on boundaries. It's not just like one sentence and then you've got it all figured out. You need to do the whole course. There's a series here on TikTok on my page. If you tap on paid series, there's a series there, but you should enroll in Healing School and then take the course called Boundaries School. Can you please answer mine? Okay, I just did. You could have put the question right there. I keep comparing myself to the girl he chose, that maybe if I was just like her, he would have stayed. Yeah, now is that a beneficial story to tell yourself, or is that a detrimental story to your mental health? Is that beneficial to tell yourself that, or is that detrimental to your mental health? Correct, it's detrimental to your mental health, so therefore you should stop telling yourself that story. It's false. I love the healing journal. It's better than I thought it would be. Thanks. That's a backhanded compliment. I looked at you and thought, this healing journal ain't going to be good. But then I got it, and it was actually good. Are you married? No, I'm not married. I am single right now. Maybe wrong word choice, divergent. My co-parent is always in opposition no matter what in parenting. If someone is always in opposition to you, then they are your enemy. So you cannot co-parent with an enemy. There's not going to be any co-anything. They are your enemy. You can't co-anything with them. You can't cooperate. So you need to strategize and behave as if you're at war with the person, because you are. They are your enemy. I've been doing everything with love, and I'm still not getting what I want back in return. Whoever told you that? I never told you if you do everything in love, then you're going to get that back in return. I never told you that. Change your expectations. You're violating one of the laws of healing, which is see the universe exactly as it is. It's cognitive distortion number 3 on my list of cognitive distortions is heaven's reward fallacy, believing that because you do good things, you're supposed to get good things in return. The universe isn't working like that. That's not how the universe works. Come down to real life. How do you classify ghosting an abuser? I classify that as intelligence, moving away from something that's dangerous for you. It's cutting off what is toxic. It's the first law of healing. Sometimes you have to ghost them because for your safety, that's the way I gotta handle it. Sometimes you have to communicate what's happening for your safety. But whatever you do, you always make sure you're doing it with your safety involved, because they're an abuser, so they're not safe for you. They're dangerous. What are some good main deal breakers? Your deal breakers need to be based on your standards, not based on my standards. So write down on a piece of paper what you're looking for in a mate, and when someone doesn't have those things, that's a deal breaker. So, okay, ... What if you're an avoidant, but you don't dump people to be cruel? They're just not the one. It doesn't mean you're not an avoidant. What does that have to do with anything? If someone's not the one, then you need to communicate to them that you believe they're not the one and that you are leaving, and give them an opportunity to express themselves and express their feelings. And you have to sit there and deal with the fact that the other person has feelings and that breakups have consequences. You need to stop avoiding. What is true love? I have a different view than my partner. True love is where things are mutually beneficial. If it's not mutually beneficial, then it's not true love. You can't truly love a person when you don't know their flaws, because you don't know the person. So you have to actually know the person, otherwise it's just limerence. But true love is where it's mutually beneficial. Can a narcissist swap your kid's intelligence for their relatives? I don't know what that means. Can you help an avoider? You can give them my contact. You can show them my social media. You can try to enroll them in my course, but you can't change them. They have to change themselves. They have to want to heal. And that's totally on them. Thoughts on people who know that they have no empathy or high-functioning empath? If you know you have no empathy, then you are a narcissist, especially if you don't take accountability as well, which it doesn't sound like that's the case, because you just said you know you have no empathy. If you're a high-functioning empath, I don't see what the problem would be. You're asking me my thoughts on a high-functioning empath. High-functioning implies that normally you wouldn't be able to function. Empaths don't have a problem functioning. Trauma survivors have problem functioning, if you're talking about someone with CPTSD. I wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt and believe the best. I understand, yeah. But you can do that. But just remember that some people will prove you wrong. What is true love? My partner and I have different views. Please stop copy-pasting your comments, guys. My ex accused me of being manipulative. He came from a past abusive relationship. I'm sorry to hear that. My intentions were genuine. Yeah, that's sad. Does that meet your standards, that he's putting his past trauma on you? If not, then he doesn't meet your standards. How to learn to sustain emotional permanence. Will self-love help you to believe people will love you? Yes. You have to get out of worrying so much about where someone else's feelings are, which is one of the laws of healing. And you need to focus on your own feelings, your own emotional permanence, which is your stable love for yourself and even the other person. And once you have your own emotional permanence, it might not be so hard to imagine that they have emotional permanence as well. When healed, you won't care if they do or not. Generally, to a degree, yeah. Like a healed person cares what others think. We care if someone loves us, but we're not consumed by it. So it's like a limited care. Like, I care if you love me. I want you to love me. But if you don't, okay, my value is still 4 out of 4, 10 out of 10. Billionaire, playboy, genius, philanthropist. Extreme abuse got out after 5 years. He shows up everywhere. How can I make him detach from me and go away? You can't make him do anything, but you can report his stalking crimes to the police, and you should. How do we tell someone they are a fearful avoidant and that they need help? Can they be helped? They can be helped, but they need to want to change. They can't be changed by you, and they don't want to change. I tend to suppress my emotions. How can I start to bring them to my attention and be in tune? By pausing and taking your time and not avoiding emotions and asking yourself, what do I feel all the time? Asking yourself, how do I feel? How am I doing? Checking in with yourself. 30 years marriage. He is an avoidant, left me. I'm a communicator. Yeah, well, He doesn't want to be with a communicator, as you can see, because he's a non-communicator. So I'm sorry to hear that he left. But ultimately, it would never work. It was never going to work with a person who's avoidant and doesn't like to communicate. Mike says, I can never talk about my feelings or her behavior without her saying I'm starting a fight. Yeah, does that meet your standards? Is that the kind of woman that you want to be married to? Is that wife material for you? You are giving great advice. Thank you. It is my job, though. I forgot yesterday's message. Me too. Set a boundary with my partner, a dismissive avoidant. He blocked me. I was devastated. Being devastated is missing the point of setting the boundary. What's the point of the boundary? Keep yourself safe. If an unsafe person gets away from you, then why would you be devastated? Because you forgot the point of why you set the boundary. Why did you set the boundary? To keep yourself safe. So if an unsafe person gets away from you, then why would you be devastated? If the devaluation list for or after the relationship or during the relationship, the devaluation list is for whenever your feelings are getting out of control, toxic, or when the person has become toxic, usually because they've dumped, discarded, ghosted, or blocked you. LOL, no, I thought the healing journal was going to be really good, but it was even better. Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I'm kind of still conflicted with if I should remove him from socials or not. That's up to you. Every person is different. So, like for me, a lot of times, like I'm on TikTok a lot. So if we are not in a relationship and if you're active or you go live, I will block you because if we were in a relationship, because I don't want to accidentally be scrolling through lives and then end up in your room. And then you're getting dysregulated because you see me in your room and you think I'm stalking you, and it's really not like that. I'm just scrolling through TikTok, right? Because TikTok's very good at like bringing to your page things that they know you would be interested in. So they'll bring your ex right onto your page. So sometimes just for certain reasons, you may choose to block. And that's one good reason why you might choose to block or remove from socials. So analyze your own situation, analyze your needs, analyze the circumstance, the type of social media, and make a choice that's going to be good for your healing. Why would narcissist X text after no contact to say he moved on or has new career success? Because everything a narcissist does is to establish a higher status over you. I needed to hear that you can't call anything with an enemy. You're welcome. I tried to use ChatGPT if she's narcissistic because comparison to a narc X, how can I be certain of her? ChatGPT told me she's immature with avoidant narcissistic characteristics. I don't know if you have a question or if you're just letting me know what ChatGPT told you, but it sounds like they already confirmed that they're narcissistic, and so therefore they don't qualify. It's not about the diagnosis, about figuring out if someone meets your standards, which they don't. Sometimes when I read comments, I feel like I'm having a stroke. Okay. Then maybe don't read comments. I don't know. I had to break up with my detached avoidant because he triggers my past abuse with covert narcissist. You broke up with him because he triggered your past abuse, then that means that you're unhealed. You got to break up with someone because they don't meet your standards, not because they trigger your past abuse. 15 days no contact. Why would somebody stop texting after sending a caring message? Because that's what avoidants do. They have dueling personalities inside of them. So two things are true simultaneously, and they're hiding one thing, and they say, I feel this, and then they do this because there's two things happening. What is the difference between healing and coping? How do I know if I'm healing? Healing is growth. Coping is surviving. You know you're healing if you're changing for the better. Growth. Someone cheated on you and you confront them instead of apology, they break up with you. What is that? That's you setting boundaries, and that's them showing you that they can't live up to your standards or they can't follow your boundaries, so they're going to leave. which is what we want to happen when we set boundaries. We want people to leave if they're not going to be able to respect our boundaries, because we need only people who can respect our boundaries. Can CPTSD be healed? Yes, I've helped thousands of people to heal. Please stop copying and pasting, he said. Did you just copy paste that comment? People who have to master yourself, your mind, have autonomy. It's not easy, but it's worthwhile, maybe you're trying to say. How to feel comfortable in your ego and step into it. Narcissist's mother learned self-abandonment and neglect. You need to be the non-narcissist mother, a loving mother to yourself. So you have to build yourself up constantly. You should be constantly telling yourself positive information about yourself, positive thoughts and compliments about yourself. I've been married for almost 6 years, and my hubby hardly ever talks to me nor make out with me. Okay. You have the choice of setting a boundary by telling them, calling out the behavior and telling them what it is you need, and either they're able to change and live up to it, or you may have to make some very hard decisions because they're not meeting your standards. Yesterday's message was healing, growth, and purpose. Am I right? Yeah, it was everything you do must align with your purpose. Can you be DA? Yes, anyone can be dismissive avoidant, potentially. Good afternoon. Where can I get the healing journal from? Amazon.com, or go to my website to see a link to take you there. A narcissist broke up with me, but blocked me on social media, but doesn't block my phone number. Why are you focused on what a narcissist does when a narcissist is toxic for you? Stop looking at the narcissist altogether, and definitely block them because they're a narcissist. He doesn't post at all. He's just there. I find it hard to press that button, unfollow or unfriend. If you're doing it to keep the line of communication open or whatever, sometimes the important thing is not that you pressed unfollow or unfriend. The important thing is that you're emotionally moving forward by doing your devaluation list, and you're learning to regulate your emotions. It's about healing for you. It's not about whether or not you unfriended or unfollowed him. That's not the important thing to me. I have exes that I didn't unfriend and unfollow. That's fine. Why do narcissists bring up and defraud my close family members? Defraud your close family members? Because narcissists are evil. They have evil, wicked intentions, and they're doing what a narcissist does, which is evil things. Why does that mean when he blocked me on social media and doesn't block my phone number and done with me? If the person is no longer in a relationship with you, you need to stop focusing on what they're doing. You need to focus instead on your healing. Do your devaluation list about the person. Can an avoidant be narcissistic too? An avoidant cannot be a narcissist, no. When they are in no contact, do they know how we are suffering? Why don't they reach out? Avoidants detach from concern about your feelings and emotions because they're too immature to be able to take on the feelings and emotions of another, which is why they've done this strange alien behavior. So no, they don't really know you are suffering. They're not thinking about how you're feeling. Obviously, if they did, they wouldn't have behaved like a little skittish child. So they don't reach out because they believe that what they're doing is for the best, and so they stick with it. On some level, they ultimately realize they don't qualify, and that is actually true, to have a relationship with you. Can you give examples of growth through having healed? That's just saying healed through having healed, growth through having grown. Give examples. Examples are you change for the better. That could be anything. If I couldn't walk and then I start working on learning how to walk, then I can walk. Then I changed for the better. That's growth. That's healing. So look at your life and you come up with the examples of how you would like to grow and how you would like to heal. After 15 days no contact, do you think a fearful avoidant I'm in relationship with will text again? Well, you're not in a relationship with if you're no contact for 15 days. If it's not by mutual consent, then it's not a relationship. You're broken up. Will they text again? Maybe. But what's the point of trying to predict the unpredictable behavior of an unpredictable, unstable, emotionally immature person? Focus on you getting your needs met through you instead of trying to get them met through a person who's already proven to you that they're an unstable source of getting your needs met. Is it possible to heal / take care of yourself enough that you do not need to detach from the avoidant? We all need to detach from people who are toxic for us. So no. All healed people detach from toxic people. That's a part of healing. Hi, sir. Do you think it's wise to wait for a partner who says wants something serious but not consistent? No. Never wait for a partner. If they're not consistent, use that as a deal breaker and move forward. She left her everything with me. She calls me every day. She took all the children. She's a cheater and she lied. You're still focused on her, but I already told you that she's a narcissist and an offspring of the devil. How do I handle the situation? You handle the situation by acting like you don't want the children, by fighting in court with a lawyer if necessary. Stop contacting her. Do not answer her phone calls. Stop engaging with this woman. She is completely detrimental to your life. There's nothing good that she has to bring to your life. You need to cut off all contact with her. Next week is Valentine's. Does that mean he's done since we haven't talked in 15 days? Don't worry about whether he's done, how he feels, what he's thinking, what he needs. Worry about what you need. It's not getting met through him. He's an unstable source of what you need, which is love. So stop looking for it from him. Give it to yourself. Take yourself out for Valentine's Day. Make plans. Don't worry about him. I just feel frozen. Can't move forward in life. I hate it. Why do you feel frozen? Expose the negative thinking that's keeping you in a frozen state. Are you a billionaire? No. How to reframe being broken. I easily attach to people that trauma dump. Need a new standard for growth. Never say I'm broken. Always just say like I'm affected, I'm hurt, but don't say I'm broken. I don't know what you mean by standard for growth. I just found the man of my dreams live. Oh my goodness. Yes, worth time. What do you advise a person with CPTS? Yes, worthwhile. If you have CPTSD, I advise you heal, enroll in my healing program. Go to my website, start scrolling through, utilizing the resources there, and book a one-on-one session with me. Do dismissive avoidants have evil intentions as well? No, dismissive avoidants don't have evil intentions. Dismissive avoidants are just trying to keep themselves safe. So they're doing everything from a place of, I can't trust anyone, and that's the only way I know how to keep myself safe, so I just won't feel and trust people. And fearful avoidants do not have evil intentions either, no. Narcissist X was successful, told me I won't find someone better. Now I compare everyone to him. Why? Because you want an evil person's narrative to shape your life? That doesn't sound like a good plan. Maurice, let's try a different plan. Let's try not letting evil people shape our life with their gaslighting and narratives. My husband recently passed away. I don't want to be alone. I'm bothered by emotions. Stop saying be alone. I already told you that. You're not listening, Cynthia. I literally just told you yesterday, don't say be alone. It's single. It's not alone. My husband recently passed away. Okay. So you need to focus on channeling your emotions, the grief that you have, which is commensurate with the love, into productivity. so that you have something to show. Imagine that you're going to see him again, which you are. You don't want to say, I grieve so much, I have nothing to show for the time. That's not going to impress him. Show him that you've done something of value, that you've reached out and helped some people. What's the difference between a narcissist and an avoidant? A narcissist has cruel intentions and lacks empathy and accountability. An avoidant just lacks emotional regulations and lives in fear. Why can't avoidants be narcissists? Because avoidants are on a different side of the scale. It's a split in childhood where you become one or the other, the ego path or the empath. The empath lets go of the ego to survive in their family arrangement. The ego path lets go of the empathy to survive in their family arrangement. When you let go of empathy, then you can become the narcissist, psychopath, sociopath. When you let go of empathy, it would be impossible for you to be an empath. The empath lets go of the ego, so they have to survive, so then they become the avoidant, or CPTSD, or borderline personality disorder. You can't have those and then also have the lack of empathy when you lack the ego, because your split was different. You're on two different sides of the spectrum. So because they're opposite of each other, they can't be the same person. Can a fearful avoidant give up on coming back in order to maintain their good image in front of others? Yes. These people are definitely very image conscious. So you're saying a lot of men don't step up when you communicate your standards or boundaries? Yeah, a lot of people don't step up. Some of them step away, and that's fine. Your boundaries are keeping you safe when they step away. My boyfriend of 6 years left me for someone else 2 weeks ago. I can't sleep or eat. I'm so heartbroken. Imagine if you had a child, and because someone broke up with your child, you told your child that they couldn't eat now. Would that be loving? No, it would be abusive. And that's what you're doing to yourself. You're self-abusing. Eat and sleep. That's bare minimum. Care for yourself. Don't abuse yourself because someone else left you. That's unacceptable. Go eat something right now. Turn off live. Go eat something and get in bed. Take a shower and get in bed. Excellent advice here. Sincere comment. Thank you, Allison. Appreciate it. What's the difference between a narcissist and an avoidant? Narcissists have cruel intentions. Avoidants are just scared. They're just fearful. What is the difference between narcissist and avoidant? Maybe if you would stop copy-pasting, we'd be able to move through these a lot faster. The fact that he didn't respond after being sweet and I being too caring then discarded me, so he's done. You keep worrying about how he feels. Like, is he done? Is he done? He left. So therefore, you can't have a relationship with a person who's not there. Look around. Is he there? Go ahead. Turn around. Look in your room. Is he there? He's not there. You can't have a relationship with a person who's not there. So it's done. It's done. Don't worry about whether he's done. It's done. I'm telling you it's done. When a person leaves you, you don't worry about are they coming back. You just say, okay, they're not here. Now I got to focus on the next thing, which is self-care and purpose. He said, I think we should end things so I don't stress you and make you complain. And that was it. Typical avoidant breakup. I'm not sure. I feel like I have no motivation, don't want to see people. Katya, you're failing to care for your human. Every person has a human to care for. Every person in the universe. If you don't care for your human, then you become a burden on society, and then we have to care for you because your health fails, and then we have to take care of you. So instead of waiting around for motivation to do what's good for you, get up and do what's good for you without the motivation. Just take it in small steps. If you had a child, you wouldn't say, I just don't really feel motivated to do anything for this child. No, you would still feed it, cherish it, bathe it, enroll it in school, and give it the best programs and the best chance you could give it. That's how you must care for yourself, as if you're caring for someone else's child. He cheated on me and I forgive him. We repaired. he's now back with the same girl 9 months later. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to wait for him and repeat the cycle, or are you going to let him go and do your devaluation list? Please don't copy-paste your comments, Esther. Please don't copy-paste your comments, Soul Smooch. Is the ADAPT class what you recommend to start with in healing school? I do. I do recommend that for trauma survivors with CPTSD. Absolutely. You'll find that to be a very healing program. That's a program I've used to help thousands of trauma survivors to heal around the world. So you'll appreciate that. Was looking for a new standard when vetting people with trauma. Now I know the difference between ... I still don't know if I understand you, but I don't think you're asking a question there. Feel so exhausted that could make sense if we were fighting, but we weren't discarded. Stop trying to make sense of the other person's actions. Focus on your own healing, your own growth. That is your purpose and your self-love. Start with doing a devaluation list so you stop focusing so much on the other person. You are displaying signs of being codependent. Is it best to block the narcissist X on a phone and socials, or let him watch? From the standpoint of making sure that you're not infected by his contaminant, if he's liable to reach out to you, then blocking would be good. If he's not going to reach out to you, then yeah, you can just let him watch. What does it mean to be an anxious avoidant? An anxiously attached person is someone who vacillates between constantly wanting and needing a connection from others, and then when they get it, getting overwhelmed and then ghosting, running away like a little squirrel. If a person has CPTSD, could they have a personality disorder as well? Yes. CPTSD is in many ways it's considered a psychiatric illness, but it's basically a personality disorder. How to gauge true empathy? Vulnerable, covert narcs can fake it. Yeah, if you don't need to gauge true empathy, you need to set standards, and if they meet your standards and if they're congruent, that's one of your standards, that they're congruent, then you're good. But if they show you incongruence, then that's going to be what you're looking for, not to try to test if the empathy is true or not. But do pay attention to empathy, how they treat children, how they treat animals. He cheated, how they treat you. He cheated / was very remorseful. Worked on repair for 9 months. Later, he's dating the same girl. Please don't copy paste. How to heal being a DA and what are some characteristics? I don't have time to list characteristics for you. You can go to Google or AI for that. But you heal being a DA by doing nothing out of fear, everything out of love. Cultivate greater love for humans. By focusing on everything that's good about them. My ex-fiance keeps sending me a message almost every week. It sounds toxic. You might need to set boundaries or block. If the avoidant doesn't mean harm, should we try to help them? You can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. So analyze, is he asking you for help? Are most narcissists aware they're narcissists? Narcissists know that they're bad guys. They know that they're on the evil team. Can you talk about the difference between avoidant women versus men? I assume avoidant men come back more. There's no difference, except it's way more embarrassing to be an avoidant man because it's very feminine to get scared and fearful and block and not communicate clearly because you're too scared to talk to a woman. That's kind of embarrassing. But other than that, there's not really any difference. Is it a good idea to gift the avoidant your healing course? I'm not saying it's going to be a good idea or a bad idea. It just depends on them if they're going to appreciate it or not. That's 100% up to them. don't hold your breath and think that they're going to like really care. If they're not looking for it, then don't try to help them. In your opinion, is a Christian covert narcissist a real Christian? No. In my opinion, a Christian covert narcissist is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I miss him so much. I feel like I just want to drive into a semi, been 41 days, no contact. I can't do it. Never entertain that thought again. Never speak that thought. Never say that thought. When you have it, you need to constantly fight against that thought. Never say that again. Stop saying I can't. What you're really dealing with is not this breakup. You're dealing with a lack of control over your self-talk. You need to use positive self-talk instead of negative, abusive self-talk. Don't say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to a child that you're caring for. Enroll in my healing course. Avoidant spouse, how to help kids who display similar actions of shutting down like him. You can just model empathy for them and teach them about empathy and accountability. Teach your kids how to speak about their emotions, how to learn about their emotions, how to talk about their emotions. Don't create trauma for them. Don't abuse them for speaking up and being different. Teach them that it's okay to be themselves. Secure way to deal with incongruence. As soon as someone's incongruent, you immediately stop everything, you halt the relationship, and you say, hold on, what is that? That was incongruent. And then you call them to the mat to explain and to fix it. If they can fix it, you're good, you move on. If they don't fix it, stop. I bought a book about narcissists and my partner saw it and flipped out. That's a disqualification, don't you think? Have you ever been married? Yes, I have been married. 15 years to a narcissist. It's all in my book. If you want to know about me, just go get the book. MIND, it's called on Amazon. How much is the course? $39 a month. Cancel whenever. So avoidants know they're wrong after devaluing the partner? Not always. A lot of times they think they did the right thing. Do narcissists block you often? Yeah, sometimes. But it's more to manipulate and punish you. Avoidants do it because they're trying to do it for themselves. Why do you think my ex blocked me on TikTok when I got into a new relationship? I don't know why your ex blocked you on TikTok when you got into a new relationship. Don't focus on other people's actions and feelings. The evaluation list was the best advice ever. Thank you. That's what you get here, guys. You get the best advice ever. Now enroll in the healing course or book a session with me or make a donation on my website to show the proper level of appreciation for what you're getting. I'm not being paid by TikTok to be here right now. How do you heal? I'm living with him 5 years, 3 kids. I don't know who him is, but if he's toxic, then you may need to separate yourself from him. And then you heal by analyzing what the symptoms are you need to heal and then typing that in with my name into a search bar and finding out what I said to do to heal that particular symptom. Should I call an avoidant out on what they are doing or just leave? It depends on the receptibility. Sometimes they're receptive, and then you can call them out. But if they're not receptive, then just go. Can you share how a woman is a narcissist? Not all women are narcissists, to be clear, but many narcissists are indeed women. They probably make up 50% of narcissists, if not more. It's not that different than a male narcissist, except that women can use that people, society ascribes innocence onto women, harmlessness onto women, nurturing onto them as mothers, so they hide behind all of that. They usually show up as covert, communal, vulnerable. You can look those terms up online. How do you heal severe betrayal, abandonment, trauma in relationships? It keeps happening to me. That's just about being an adult. Betrayal and abandonment happens to all adults, actually. You're just hyper-focused on it because, like I said, you're unhealed. And healing is coming to a more mature standpoint on what happened, why it happens, why it's going to continue to happen, and how to actually cope with it when it does happen. You can type abandonment Roman Zanoni into a search bar on TikTok or YouTube and find out more.